in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, from verse 23 all the way down to verse 25, you hear Paul saying it in this format. He said, I have received from the Lord that which I have delivered unto you, that in the same manner after he had supped. Now listen, Paul never had a privilege of being around the ministry of Jesus. Jesus was long ascended back into heaven before Paul encountered salvation. So the question is, how did he know the pattern? Jesus revealed the pattern to him. The Holy Spirit revealed the pattern to him. Why was it necessary for him to have the pattern? Because ministries are based on patterns. The reason you see a distinction from one ministry to another, one business to another, is because each and every one of us as leaders who are privileged to be pioneers have an original pattern that has been given to us, that we are meant to not only sustain, ensure is replicated through the years. There are a lot of benefits of that I'm going to come to in a moment. But please understand that patterns are given by God. And a leader's job is to understand, is to promote, is to consolidate, and then cause people who come after him, work with him, to be able to not only drink into the pattern, but become extensions of that pattern. So Paul says, I have received of the Lord that which I have delivered unto you, that in the same pattern, in the same manner. So God expects us as leaders to receive patterns. By patterns, I'm talking about the peculiarities of your vision. I'm talking about the specifics of your assignment. I'm talking about the distinctions that made it necessary for you to arise and not just continue with where you used to be or somewhere else where you could express yourself. That's what I mean by patterns. And God is the one that gives patterns. Some people call it burdens. Some people, it comes through expressions of giftings. It comes through the needs that people find themselves incensed, motivated, stirred up to want to meet. Those are how God sometimes brings patterns. But specifically in the work of pastoral ministry, God encounters us, speaks to us, tells us exactly what he wants us to do, how he wants us to do it. That becomes a pattern. And as a leader, our job is to ensure that the pattern is preserved. In the book of John chapter 5 verse 19, here is how Jesus puts it. Jesus said, I do nothing but that which I see my Father do. I do nothing, because we all receive from him. He needed to show to us that as our ultimate leader, he too received a pattern. He said, I do nothing except that which I see my Father do. As my Father speaketh, I speak. What my Father does, that is what I do. So, men and brethren, ladies and gentlemen, patterns, biblical standards require that in leadership, we must know not only how to receive and explain patterns, but know how to extend patterns. It gets a little bit more interesting when you now bring it into the practical workings of specific people that lived in Bible days. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let's start from Moses. In the book of Numbers, chapter 11 and verse 17, here is how God puts it. God says, Moses, I will take off the spirit that is upon you, and I will put it upon the people that are with you, so that they can be able to bear the burden of the work with you. God says, I will take off your spirit. What is that spirit? It's talking about the grace, the pattern, the assignment, that thing that makes Moses Moses, that grace that is tied around his assignment. God says, under your leadership, the people to work with you must drink of, draw from, and carry exactly what is in you. Why is that important? That Numbers 11:17 explains. It says, so that they can be able to bear the burden with you. Put another way, nobody can work with you successfully until they carry off your spirit.